Okay guys, this is the second video concerning end times in Matthew 24. And why am I talking about this on the Bushcrafted Survival channel? This is not bushcraft, but it does have to do with the survival of you and me, right? Because so many crazy things are going on in the world. We all have to be up and alert. And we have to have our eyes open, ears open, mouth shut, okay, about certain things. Right now my mouth is open at my peril because I feel that I really need to talk about some of these things. And whether you want to deny them, it doesn't matter, because denial of truth doesn't make it false. You can give me a thumbs down and laugh and walk away and go out and piddle around in your garage or go out and go canoeing or whatever and ignore what's going on in the world and ignore the spiritual side of things, because this visible world is just a mirror of the invisible. Yeah. So you got the invisible and you got the visible. It's in the Bible. And then you're going to say, well, that Bible's just a fairy tale. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, well, you find out soon enough. Because this fairy tale is coming to the end of the book, right? Not a fairy tale. So we left off with verse 8. Okay? Verse 8 we left off with on the last video, where I said that verse 5, 6, and 7 are that's what verse 8 is talking about. That verses 5, 6, and 7 are the beginnings of sorrows. Okay, so that's the beginnings of sorrows. And verse 9 goes on. Now, I've pretty much just kind of paraphrased all this to the point. Okay, I didn't go word for word because I have, first of all, my marker thing is running out. The thing is, I really will want to get to the point. What's the point of the verse? So, just to let you know, I didn't omit anything or add anything that shouldn't be there. I just made it more direct. So verse 9 says that Christians will be delivered up to be afflicted and put to death, and will all be hated for Jesus' name's sake, which obviously that happens every day. You know, people hate Christians because they say that, they say, well, Jesus is the only way, and Jesus is the only way. So again, whether you want to believe that or not, that's on you. That's not on me. I'm giving you the gospel, the good news. Okay? The gospel is the good news. That's what that word means, the good news. That you don't have to fry in the lake of fire. You don't have to. You could just say, hey, you know what? I made a mistake. Because eternity is a very long time to be wrong, burning in the lake of fire. So Christians will be delivered up to be afflicted and put to death. The last few years, especially this last 20 years, while these wars have been going on in the Middle East, I've seen rows of Christians who were crucified on crosses. That's modern day, okay? Now, put to death, beheaded, had their heads chopped off because they would not denounce Christianity and they wouldn't accept somebody else's way, okay? Yeah. So, Christians delivered up to be afflicted and put to death. That's happened. All are hated by the world for his name's sake, for being Christians, right? That's happened. Verse 9. Okay, done. Verse 10. Many have scandalized and betrayed each other, and they hate each other. Divide and conquer. We see it constantly in the world. You got the Looney Tunes left, and you got the regular people on the right. And they don't like each other. Some people hate each other. I'm guilty. I'm guilty of not liking evil people. Okay, I'm guilty. I am. And I'm not going to come together, and I'm not gonna shake hands with the minions of Satan, okay, and come to common ground. I'm not gonna do it, okay? I'm guilty. I accept that. I'm not coming to common ground with evil people. People that are doing evil things in this world are going to be punished for the evil they're doing, and I'm not going to be part of it. I have decided to step away and not partake in any of their baloney. And I know that there are a lot of other people that feel the same way as I do, because we are actually the majority. Okay? Now, verse 11. False prophets rise and seduce many. We have seen this for a long time. The false prophets are rising and seducing many. I'm not a prophet. I'm not doing anything. I'm just telling you what the Bible says. Okay? I am just reaffirming, and I am spreading the good news of the Lord. That's what I'm doing. But there are people, Edgar Casey, false prophet. There's been a lot of them. Mostly in that whole New Age thing. Sylvia Brown. Sylvia Brown is a false person. She was actually found out by somebody that she said was dead on Montel Williams' show a long time ago. She said that this girl was dead, and then the girl was a captive. She was captive somewhere, and she escaped. And then all of a sudden, whoa, wow, she's alive. So you got to watch out for those false prophets and stuff. People claiming to be to know all sorts of things about your dead relatives, and your grandma is haunting the house. No. Those are demons. Demons that are trying to deceive you. Because to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord if you're a Christian. If your grandma was a Christian, she's not here. If you think that's your dead grandmother, it's not. It's a demon. A demon who's trying to wheedle his way into your life. Alright? Now, 12. Evil abounds, and the charity of many shall go cold. So people will be less caring about other people and the troubles that they have going through in their life. Okay, evil abounds. Evil is abounding everywhere. The world is full of evil. From your local community to around the world, we see it in great quantity, very great quantity. And the charity of many shall grow cold. And I think that a lot of this, the charity of many shall grow cold, is partially because is because of this divide and conquer. The people are divided. The charity of many shall grow cold. I mean, the people are divided. People feel less inclined to help each other because maybe the left-right paradigm, political spectrum, what have you. Also, economically, somebody may be dirt poor. They don't have anything anyway, and they're very cold about sharing with others, even though, so we got to go back to the two mites story in the Bible, right? Where Jesus says, well, she gave more than you, even though it was two mites, because she gave all she had, right? So, yeah. So we still have to remember, even though we may not have much, if we're dirt poor, if we still help somebody, Jesus likes that, okay? He sees that. He's oh, you didn't have anything, but you gave that person some of your food. I mean, you have very little food, but you gave that person some of your food. He likes that sort of thing. But it says, charity of many shall go cold. And that's true. That's happening right now. It's been happening for a while now. Verse 13, he that perseveres to the end shall be saved. And this applies to Christians who persevere to the end shall be saved. Now, but then they'll say, a lot of people will believe that the end for Christians is at the end of the Great Tribulation. And that isn't true. Because verse 14 is the end for Christians who are alive today and believe in Jesus Christ and read the Bible and believe in their home with the Father in heaven. Okay, that's the end is over at verse 14 for those people. It says, this gospel, this good news of the kingdom is preached to the whole world for a testimony, which is what people have been doing since the time of Jesus when he walked here on the earth physically. And then it says, then the consummation shall come. And the end, the consummation is the end. That's what it means. Consummation is the end. The end will come. So, the end will come for Christians, which is the end of the church age. That is the rapture. The harpazo, which is the Greek, rapturo in Latin. And those two words are in both Greek and Latin. English is not in the Bible, but in the other translations, it is in the other translations. So, the end, it should say, then the rapture shall come. That's what that is the missing link right there. Consummation means the end, okay? Right? And then the rapture, right? The end is the rapture. The rapture is the end for Christians on earth. And then verses 15 on in Matthew 24, they apply directly to non-Christians, Jews, Muslims, atheists, all of those people. That's what anybody who does not believe in Jesus, in his testimony, his gospel, when the rapture happens, that's who's going to be left. And part of what I'm talking about in these videos is here. It's going to be here to help those who figure out, hey, he was right. He's right. Jesus was it. And they find a Bible and they read it and they become Christians And then they gotta go. They still gotta go through. They still gotta go through the tribulation with all the other unbelievers. So they better be prepared, because it's gonna be tough.